let's do a garden haul before it starts raining. The first thing I ordered was some starting trays or seedling trays from Bootstrap Farmer. I usually buy my seed starting trays from the Greenhouse Mega Store, and they don't last very long. They're kind of flimsy. They're really, really inexpensive, but I think that's just because they break really fast. So usually I replace a couple of them once a year, but this time I decided to invest in these beautiful multicolored ones. Yeah, these look like they're gonna last way longer. The other ones, if you squeeze them too hard, you can break them easily. This one comes with 6 cells. You can see there, they've got a big hole at the bottom so that when I'm transplanting them, I can kind of push them out. And then they also have the little root pruning sides. I went for the multicolored ones just because I love adding color to the garden, and I think this would make it a lot easier for me to color coordinate if I'm starting a bunch of different plants. I also got some trays, and I went for the white ones. I don't know if they sell the multicolored ones, but if they did, I probably didn't buy them if they were more expensive. These just feel so much nicer. The ones that I bought were also from the Greenhouse Mega Store, and while those work, I feel like sometimes I have to stack 2 of them if the trays are really heavy. Otherwise, they're kind of flimsy. And then I bought these big pots. Oh my gosh, I didn't realize they would be this huge, but I think that's perfect. I went for pink because they were out of blue. This is a little bit more really bright, so I'm glad I chose the pink. These are so adorable. And the reason I got the biggest size possible, I think there might be bigger, but this would be perfect for tomatoes, because this year I feel like I transplanted them out into the garden and they were still a little bit too small for my liking. I mean, they're producing a lot, but I feel like if I can get them really nice and established indoors before transplanting them outside, maybe I can have bigger harvests or earlier harvests, especially because we have a really short tomato season. It just heats up far too quickly for the slicers, at least. The cherry varieties can do well for a while. And then also, if I'm ever starting cuttings or anything like that, I think this is the perfect size. I won't have to up pot for a while. So that's all I got from Bootstrap Farmer. And it was quite an investment, I will say, compared to the Greenhouse Mega Store. But I didn't want to keep buying more and more trays. I've seen a lot of stuff on soil blocking, but I think with my climate here, soil blocking just wouldn't work. Everything just dries out way too fast. Next, I went to the dollar store, to the 99-cent store, I should say. I picked up this, which is a cute little green canister with what looks like leaves on it. It comes with a little spoon, a little top, and I thought this would just be so perfect for some dry tea. I've been harvesting chamomile and I want to let it dry out, and then I can store it in here and then just scoop it out with a little spoon. I think that would be so adorable. But to drink the tea, I bought this little tea infuser, which is so cute. So the top looks more like bamboo. It's double insulated, and then when you open it up, it has this little container in there. So you can unscrew it, you can fill it with your tea, and then you can let the tea steep for as long as you want. It's made out of glass, and I think it just looks so pretty, so I really like this. The next thing I got from the dollar store was a Terra Cotta pot. Well, actually I got like 4 of them. And some of these bottom things. So this was $1 and these were $3.99, which is such a steal because I saw that they had bigger ones and I didn't get them. They were, I think, like $7.99, and I was like, I don't know if I want to spend $7.99 on Terra Cotta. I love the color, but I also know that they dry out really fast here because they're so like breathable. Then I went to Lowe's and I was trying to see what the prices on their Terra Cotta was, and for the small pots it was like $7.99. So I immediately rushed back to the 99-cent store. By that time, the big pots were already gone because it was a few days later. So I got this one. It's more of like a medium-sized pot. And the reason I got 4 of them is because I want to start growing more plants inside of my house. Right now I only have 1 live plant. The rest of them are fake because I don't know how to keep them alive and I don't know anything about indoor plants. So I think this would be a good place to start. And I think they just look so pretty. Plus, if I ever do want to use them outside, I can to like maybe plant some basil or mint or something like that. The only thing I want to do is seal the saucers with some sort of glaze. I saw Laura from Garden Answer testing out a couple of different ones, and so I'm gonna pick up the one that she recommended. Then I went to the thrift store and there I found so much good stuff. So first I found this plant stand for $6.49, but it's able to extend so that you can use it for bigger pots, which is really, really cool. Or You can use it for smaller pots. I love buying plant stands and I love this wood color. Anytime I come across any of these, I always pick them up. The second thing I got was this scale. It's a vintage scale and this was only $6.49. And so I thought this would be perfect for weighing some garden harvest. I just need to clean it up, but then I think it's gonna look adorable. I wanna keep it inside just so that I can kind of display it. And then whenever I bring in the harvest, I can be like, we harvested 10 pounds of tomatoes. Next, I got this watering can and this one was $7.49. This is by the brand Smith & Hawken, and I think it just looks so beautiful. I want to use this indoors, but I also want to display it on the bench that Gardener Supply sent out. Let's be honest here, I have a couple of watering cans already. I have like 3 or 4, but they're all really bright colors, and this one just looks so cute and fancy. Perfect for decor, but it's also functional. I already tried it out and it works amazing. Next, I picked up these 2 lanterns. These were $4.49 each and they have candles inside, and I guess these are the kind where you can add batteries. I didn't realize that when I bought them, which is pretty cool. I'll just add my own batteries. So you can see right there, you just add 3 batteries in there and you're good to go. I want to buy some shepherd's hooks and I want to hang these from some of the trellises, not like in the middle of the trellises, but like in the entrance of the pathways. My husband is going to build the kids a small clubhouse, so I was thinking maybe I could have these on the side of their clubhouse. I think that would just look so cute, and then we can have them lit up and it'll just look beautiful. I'm not in love with the little greenery that it has inside. It's cute, but for me it's a little too Christmassy, so I'm gonna remove that and I'll probably add flowers or something else. I think this is for fruit, right? This was $8.49, which is not too bad, and I got it because I have a jar problem. My husband says I hoard jars, and it's true, I do, because they're free. So I have a bunch of like pickle jars and pasta jars, and I thought maybe I could put some jars in here and store things like my plant labels, my pruners, brushes that I use to hand pollinate and things like that. And I think they would just be so cute set on top of the potting bench or even just next to it. Once I brought it home, I thought about using it to dry herbs. So maybe I could cover it up with a little bit of tulle or organza and then put my dried herbs in here like my basil, oregano, dill, set it on the porch and allow the herbs to air dry. After I found these 2 lanterns, I found 2 other ones that are even more beautiful, and I can't believe the price that I got them for. This is the first one. Look how gorgeous this looks. It has glass frames right here. And oh my gosh, you guys, this is just so beautiful. They're pretty big and they're kind of heavy. I think when this is lit up, it's just gonna put out such a gorgeous design. I got 2 of them for $20. At first I was like, should I get them? I have the other 2 already. Finally, I was like, you know what? Okay, let me just go for it. Let me grab them. They look really beautiful and ornate, and I love this style. I figured if I didn't wind up using them outside, I would use them inside. So my husband went to go pick them up. When he brought them back home, I was in shock. I was like, oh my gosh, these are huge, and not just that, but they're beautiful. And this is the second one. So this one is a little bit more like a brass color, and then this one is a little bit darker, but they are so stunning. Then Mother's Day came around and my husband picked up another set of these solar string lights for the garden. That's really all I wanted was some more string lights, because my goal this year is to have the entire backyard lit up and make it look more like a fairy tale. My brother and sister-in-law got me another set, which are already strung up, and I wanted to finish up the structure. This is from Costco. They're from the brand Sunforce, and they work really good. They have a remote control, so you can turn them on manually if you want, but I just have mine on auto, so as soon as the sun goes down, they come on, and it just looks so beautiful. I'm always staring at them from the window. I have the solar panel charging right now, and in a few days, I'm gonna go ahead and string them up. And then today I stopped by Harbor Freight, and I picked up this set of string lights. So these are not solar powered. These need to be plugged in, but the ones that you see behind me on the wall are also plugged in. So I was just gonna hook them up to those and finish up lighting around the bananas and down the fig trees. on the side of the house. It's hard for me to mount the solar panels onto the brick walls. It's just way too tedious. And because I already have the other string lights up, I figured it would just be easier to connect them together. The only thing is that these are not shatterproof bulbs, and I found that out the hard way. So I'm actually gonna exchange these for the exact same brand, exact same size and everything, except with different bulbs. This is by the brand Luminar Outdoor. I already tested them out and they work really good. It's just the bulbs that worry me because I have small kids and it gets really windy sometimes. And if any of them shatter, I don't want them to accidentally step on the glass or anything like that. Then I ordered some seeds from Southern Exposure Seed Exchange. And I've never ordered from this company before. I feel like shipping was a little bit longer than other companies. I forgot what seeds I ordered actually. Oh yeah. Okay. So the first seed I ordered was Imperial Star Artichoke. And the reason I got this one is because currently I'm growing the Green Globe artichoke in the garden. And that one I had seen recommended for the low desert, but I also saw another article that recommended this one. Although other places have recommended it for more northern states, either way I want to test it out just to see if I get a better harvest from them, because this year I got a lot more artichokes than last year, but they were all very small compared to the ones that I see at the store. So I figured I'd just try another variety and see how that works out. I also got some Cosata Romanesca squash. I have so much squash, but it's one of those vegetables that I'm obsessed with. I love cooking the flowers. I love the vegetable itself. And recently my kids have started eating it a lot more than they used to. So I'm trying out a lot of different varieties. And this is a variety that's supposed to produce really big flowers that are really good for frying. And then I also picked up some tromboncino, which I think is kind of like the zucchino rampicante. I got it because it looks really cool. So those were the only 3 seeds that I got. And honestly, I really like the packaging on these. I think it's so cute. The envelopes are paper. The art on it is so pretty. So I really like that. And it has a lot of information on the back. A lot of the times I've noticed with seed companies that I purchase from online, the packaging might look really nice, but there's not a whole lot of info on the back. And these actually give you a good amount of info on how to direct sow and how to transplant. By the way, if there's any other companies that you guys recommend to purchase seeds from, let me know, because I've got a seed buying addiction. I also purchased some more dragon fruit cuttings on Etsy. I bought 4 5 to 8 inch Palora cuttings. So Ecuador Palora is a yellow dragon fruit that is supposed to taste really sweet. I've bought some at the grocery store and I have never been let down by one of those fruit. Whenever I buy the pink ones or the red ones, usually they taste really bland and they're really expensive and they taste like water to me. But the yellow ones are so incredibly sweet. I love them. So I purchased 4 cuttings back in April, and the day right before they were supposed to arrive, I checked again and they still hadn't been shipped out. So I messaged the seller and I was like, hey, can I get an update? It's cool, like if they don't have the cuttings anymore, they can just cancel my order, because the ones that I have in the garden, which were dying back, all of a sudden started growing. But then they messaged me and they were like, we're so sorry, they're in the mail now. And I think they shipped them overnight. And then they wrote a note that said, Plant Girl, I am so sorry, these are late. I have included a rooted dragon. Enjoy. From Wanda. So I thought that was really sweet because they didn't have to do that. So this is the rooted cutting. Then these are the other 4 cuttings. This variety has spikes on it, so I just want to be careful. It looks like they wrapped it in a paper towel and a coffee filter. And this is what the cuttings look like. Here's another one and another one. And one more. I bought these books because people were recommending them to me in the comments of a video where I was just feeling really sick. I placed a hold for some of them at the library, and others I decided to purchase myself because I'm trying to build a book collection. One day my dream is to have a big library in a home. The first one is called The Midnight Library. Honestly, I started reading this one already. I used one of my kids' pictures as a bookmark, and already I am super into this book. I'm gonna keep reading it right now. It's a really good one. After I'm done, I'm gonna let my sister read it as well. So that's the first one that I purchased. The next one is It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover. I have heard so many people recommend books by this author, and I have never read a single one of them. I haven't read in such a long time, which is crazy because when I was a kid, that's all I ever did was just read. Whenever my mom would take us to the library, I would check out the maximum amount of books allowed, and I would finish them in just a few days, and I would be anxiously waiting to go back to pick up more books. So that's the second book. And then the third book is I Let You Go by Claire McIntosh. I think this one's just missing the outer cover, but that's okay. I don't mind. Now that I'm getting more into reading, especially during the hotter months here in the desert, I'm trying to do more activities that allow me to stay indoors because it drives me crazy not being in the garden. But if I'm able to keep myself busy reading or sewing or doing things like that, then it makes the summer months go by faster because outdoors is just a little too hot to be out here all the time. For example, today it was 102 degrees and we're not even in summer yet. So during the summertime, it's just gonna be unbearable, and this will keep me sane in the meantime. So I'm gonna let you go before it starts raining because I gotta get all of this back inside. Bye guys.